You move the camera. Oh,
I saved it just in the nick
Yes,
of
sir.
time.
There you go. 3, 2, 1.
And welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm James.
And I'm BJ, and joining us this evening is a special guest, a Barrel Buddies original. Please welcome back for this week's Booze, News, and Reviews.
Zach Attack.
Hello,
Welcome
it's
back.
Zach Attack, coming back at you. Good to see y'all.
Welcome back, Zach.
Good to have you, Zach. Welcome back to the
Who's on
party.
the show tonight.
And welcome back, friends, family,
Everybody.
followers, all and everybody in between. Welcome back to the show, and haters. Welcome back to the Barrel Buddies.
There are some haters, and we love you if you hate.
We
watch.
love you. If you hate watch, we're all about it. I know it's the internet, and a bunch of randos get bent on a shape.
Can you hear, or is it bad?
It's probably pretty bad.
Okay.
You really do need to speak into the can.
Into the can.
Yeah, and we'll ask once we get some people
Check to
on.
check.
So once we get some people joining, we'll get the rub. So, oh, excuse me. So
Hi, everybody. So
BJ,
we're back in the studio tonight.
back in the saddle.
What do you think about the show last week? It was a highly edited show. Did you catch that?
Yeah, I thought everything went really well with the show, except I thought there was some sound issues at the
There
end.
was. Yeah, I'm sorry. There was like an upload error.
Yeah,
and a
it
little
was
sound issue.
weird, but you get the
Overall,
gist.
Generally okay, right? It was generally all right.
What? So overall, you want to do a quick 30-second recap of that product?
Can I ask, what did you do last week? What did you review
Oh,
last
great
week? I'm very
question.
curious. I did not see the show. I should subscribe like everybody else. That is why
He's
it's
such a great
podcast,
Robin
right?
Quivers. Please,
Boom, boom,
BJ,
boom.
please
Hit that subscribe. Boop, boop, boop. Hit the button.
Thank you, Zachy.
There we go. What
Yes.
you got?
So last week was the first of a couple of different shows that I'm putting together called the Irish Chronicles, and it was just it was some of the shows that I put together while I was out on my Europe trip, and so that was a venture through Powers Court Distilling, where I had gotten the chance to sit down and go through the 6 offerings over at Fercullen.
Very
Fercullen
nice.
Irish whiskey at the Powers Court Distillery, and there are 2 master distillers in Ireland. All right. One is at Jameson, which I had been to the day before, at Middleton. And the other is at Fercullen at Powers Court Distilling.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 master distillers in the entire country of Ireland. And I went to both. So we were at Fercullen.
General
It was
verdict,
delightful.
just really quickly. Oh, Zach, what do you got?
I was going to say, can I ask a question? If there are 2 major distillers when it comes to the country of Ireland, how do we have the different regions of Scotch? Do they? Is it because the master
question.
distiller has different areas of fermentation in the different areas of the country? Do they have whiskey caves that are there? Does everything come from the? I was going to say
5 regions.
yeah,
There's
does
5
the-
Scotch whiskey regions, and BJ will go through 'em.
Yeah, does the actual product? Yeah, does the actual product, the white dog, does that come from one place and it gets distilled in different places? Let me know.
All right. I'm just chomping at the bit on this one. First of all, we were in Ireland, not Scotland.
I am so sorry. What did I say, Scotland?
But it's
I don't
still-
know what
it's-
I thought. Scotch,
it's a great segue.
I thought Scotch, Ireland, though.
That's perfect because this is an easy thing to mistake, right? Because we were drinking Irish whiskey, right? A whiskey that is produced in Ireland. This is a triple distilled whiskey. Then you got Scotch, which is not always triple distilled. Sometimes it's double distilled. Okay. Irish whiskey is not always triple distilled either, but what we were drinking, triple distilled. Okay. Goes through 3 pot still distillations. In Scotland, they do some triple distillations as well. But in Scotland, we're talking about regions, right? Highland, Lowland, Islay. We're also talking about the Speyside and the Campbellton,
and then baby Campbellton,
right?
Campbelltown,
Which I think has 3 distilleries left in Campbellton. Okay. Or Campbelltown.
So do you want to briefly go over kind of what each of those
No, not
regions
yet.
offer? Or we're not
yet.
there yet.
I'd
Okay.
say stay tuned and subscribe to this channel, because
We'll get there, guys.
I did get to
We
go to
will go through some scotch.
the one and only Glengoyne, which straddles the Highland and the Lowland. They distill in the Lowland, and then they go across the street, which is the border, and they age in the Highland.
Wow.
And so it makes it a really unique Scotch whiskey.
Really
okay?
cool.
That
Really
is a
cool.
very cool thing.
So you could say, like, if you're that close, is it just like a technical thing? Because for the most part, like when you're
Yeah.
buying one of those scotches, when you say I want a Space Side or I want a Highland, right? You're looking for a different type of a taste,
You are.
right?
Yeah.
But then also, like if you understand and know the brand, then you really know what you want. But as a layman, you may or may not know.
So yeah, I mean, it doesn't just come down to region.
Hey, Uncle P,
It
how's
also
that
is
sound?
part
How's
of
that sound from these guys?
it's also part of production, right?
We'll
so
find out.
it's peat. You hear about peat all the time, and we're going to talk about the germination and why you get peaty Scotch.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it does come to how they germinate the barley, and what they're using to do that is they're literally using a coal-fired or a peat-fired furnace to sprout the barley, to start the starches, so that way they can get a more robust and more
All right,
sugary.
let's
But we
wrap it
can't
up.
go. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to go too
You're
far.
going
into
into it, which we're not.
I don't want to go
going
too far into it. That's not the
So,
point of tonight's show.
Guys, you were here to talk about Still Austin. The people are joining. We're 6 minutes in, and they've already left the show.
Texas.
I'm
Friends,
sorry, guys.
Texas,
It
all right?
was a thought that just went freaking rampant.
Can you
but
sing,
It's one of those things that's kind of cool to talk about.
Zach, I think you've sang like the Texas anthem before, or like
don't even
maybe it
know
was
what that is.
Ryan. I don't know. Maybe it was a Ryan thing.
Oh, what the?
It's like something in Texas, and I'm like,
deep in the heart of Texas, shining bright
You're
in the heart of
Texas. Guys, we got Still Austin. They have a really kind of, let me see if I can just share this. Share
Boom.
screen.
Get the pop. Hang
Still
on, let's see the
Austin,
bottle.
And then share.
Look, we got Zach back, which means
Here
we
we
get
go.
the Vanna action.
So we're reviewing today, and look at this, whopping $60. Oh, look at Zach's Vanna action here.
Woo!
Look at that. Look at that. Doesn't get any better than that. Well done. Very good, Zach. It's so good.
Classic.
So Still Austin, where this is just kind of a really kind of hokey website where it started in 2013. This guy named Cleveland Seals was looking for a
Cleveland
post-retirement
Seals.
project.
Oh,
What a
Cleveland.
name.
Cleveland
Seals. Cleveland was a former executive at
Cleveland.
Sunkist, had the wild idea to start a whiskey distillery right in the middle of Austin, Texas. Cleveland Seals, you're a flippin' genius, dude, because Austin is probably the hottest city in the world right now.
And we don't mean
Austin,
like
Texas.
Temperature like Vegas right now.
No, well,
It's hot
we
here.
won't go there, but Austin is like the Silicon Valley of 2024.
Yeah, there's a
dude.
lot of people that are moving
Like,
to Austin.
you were
right now
smart,
from,
dude.
California.
Yeah,
How
in
about that?
2013 to be doing this, you guys were brilliant. So
Sick, man. Let's
in
see.
2014, they opened their doors as the first whiskey distillery in the Austin city limits since Prohibition. And then his partner, Chris, a former economist.
Is this like Pride Month partner?
Oh, it's his son, Chris Seals.
Business.
Was looking for a way to reconnect with his father. They synced up and they created this distillery. And there you go. So I don't really want to read all this, but
You're right. So we're going
it's
to turn it
Still
over to
Austin.
Zach,
Like,
who's going to read the
sustainable barrels,
back of the
I don't think
bottle.
he really gives a shit. State-of-the-art distillation, cool. Texas weather is a big deal. So as we know, it gets crazy hot, it gets humid, and then it gets super cold at night. So like you're getting a lot of that barrel Lamaze, right? So that head distiller they have, his name is John Schreppel, that you leverage those weather swings to age their whiskey to perfection. If you think about another famous Texas whiskey that we've reviewed before, which has been a hit or miss, Garrison Brothers.
Yeah. Super hot.
And Balcones is another one. That are two very famous, well-known whiskeys, and
If-
Austin is right up there with it.
I was going to say, if this is on par with those two distilleries, this is going to be a little hot.
Can you see it now, Uncle
We'll
P?
find out,
Is the
though.
camera back? He said he can't see us.
No, see?
We should be good now, man. Tell us.
58%.
We're back. Thanks. All right, cool, man. Cool.
Zach, do us the honors of reading that bottle.
All right, still Austin. You guys want to hear the back of it or what?
Sure. Tell
All
us a
right,
little
so
tale.
to create this robust bourbon, we asked our master blender, Nancy the Nose.
Nancy the Nose.
Nancy the Nose
Quite the
Fraley to
mob
search
name.
through our barrels of straight bourbon and select the most complex and most complex and full flavored ones. Those that were begging to be blended and released at barrel proof, meaning the whiskey was bottled at the same proof at which it was aged.
Oh,
So yeah, no water added, no proofing down, right?
okay.
What they normally do. The resulting spirit is a masterpiece of complex dark flavors with a deep spice finish. So think spicy.
Cheers. Let's get into this.
Spicy still Austin.
Zach, friends out in the chat, let us know what you're drinking. What beverage, adult or non-adult? What are you drinking tonight?
I like the nose. It's hard to pinpoint. I'm having a hard time. Normally I have a lot of adjectives, a lot of descriptors, and I'm having a really hard time placing the nose. Pecans, maybe. Like a sweet pecan pie, and that first I will
like
tell you this.
Cocoa powder, like a
little chocolatey, yeah.
sweet caramel, chocolatey. Surprisingly.
That's interesting.
So this
Please
is
do.
really quick though, Zach. Hold on, because I want to talk about the stats before we start talking more about it. BJ, can you tell us what this is coming in at ABV wise?
Gladly.
And then we'll get to you, Zach. Just give me a second here.
So this is coming in at a whopping 56%.
Okay.
Or 116 proof.
So for those that don't know, it is
58%. I can't read. Or 116 proof. I can't math either.
Little. And then the recipe is a 70% white corn, 25% rye, and 5% malted barley, 100% Texas. The double gold.
I hate that.
In 22 and 21, it won the World Spirits Competition Double Gold Award. Hey, that's something. Zach, what do you got?
So
Uncle P's drinking some Rolling Rock. Sorry, just had to mention that.
Latrobe Tank Brewing, Glass Tank Brewing, yeah.
So like I'm getting what BJ is coming off, like what he said earlier. Some nuttiness.
There's definitely that Jack Daniels nuttiness to it, which kind of throws me for a loop because I'm like, is this Jack Daniels?
And what's funny is like
it's not as sweet. It's not Jack Daniels.
Say if you buy this bottle and you just stick your nose into it, you won't smell it, right? You won't smell that nuttiness.
The nose isn't very prominent.
You kind of have to go left and right because your left and right nostrils will tell you different things. And then ultimately it'll come together and you'll get that nuttiness. You're like, holy shit, I did not know this whiskey smelled like nuts.
I'm ready.
All right.
I mean, like nuts. Like
BJ gets kicked off here.
All right, let's go. Let's see it.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. So this
aged a minimum of 2 years is what they say, by the way.
Which is weird, but I guess with the extreme hot and cold swings,
they're able to do that. I'm sure 2 years is probably 4 to 6 years in normal bourbon speak, in Kentucky speak.
So the nose has some cereal aspect, and so I now know what I now know what this reminds me of, and that's going to be, this is so weird, Special K cinnamon pecan breakfast cereal.
That's not a thing. That's completely made up.
It's very niche, but it is a thing, and I don't know this because I've been eating it. I've been eating it.
Circle K.
No, special.
Special K.
Can I ask, was this something special that your parents got for you?
Holy
when you were
shit!
growing up?
Fucking right.
I have never heard of this.
Cereal.
No, I'm literally eating it at home right now. It's literally the breakfast.
Kellogg's makes
that I'm
a
making,
special
eating right
case
now.
cinnamon pecan cereal.
Cinnamon pecan cereal. Yep. And it has been my cereal in my cereal bowl. That's why I
Wow.
like this
Let me
smells
see if
really
I can
familiar.
share the screen.
But I that's what I'm getting on the nose, right?
I don't know if you guys
cereal,
can see that.
this
But
roastiness,
that's his cereal.
the cinnamon. It's not overly prevalent, but it's it's like a little baking spice. It's this pecan, this roasted nutty. It's like baked bread almost, but it's cereal, right? And then a little tinge of like cocoa powder. I think that's a good way to put it, and I think that's how it ends. Like dry
I do
cocoa
get
powder.
like a cocoa powder in there.
Mhm.
It's kind of
I agree with
strange, but
that.
it's fun. I'm digging it. It's different. Right?
And then on the palate, I think that all translates really well.
I do too.
I think that
agree.
there is
Not
really
offensive.
warm cinnamon, and I think that it does lay out a really nice nuttiness. And again, it's like a roasted nut. It's not peanut, but it's like roasted nuts, almonds, pecans, maybe a little walnut in there. And then it does even out with a little bit of sweetness in the finish to give you some of those warm bourbony vanilla caramel notes, but they fall off quick. And what you're left with is that oaky, that spiced oak, little bit of a burn that you'd come to expect out of a good bourbon. I think this is really good. I would tell you, we did have this at Total Wine when we picked this
did.
bottle up, right? We had the ability to taste a couple of different Still Austins, and of the ones we sampled, this was 100% the best one.
Yeah, so Still Austin probably took off over the past couple of years, I would say, at least in the bourbon secondary market and community. Like, it doesn't hold any secondary value, but what I mean by that is that it, for a $60-ish bottle of bourbon, I think it's solid. I wouldn't say that it's like fucking like it's mind-blowing, guys. Go get it. It's solid. It's $60 solid. Am I racing out to get it? No, but I respect it.
It's very stand on its own solid.
Yes,
by the way,
it's stand on its own
it doesn't
solid.
fall in the background. It has a character, right, that is very much its own. And I think it does stand on its own, while being slightly nostalgic and very callbacky to some things we know, right? I think this is very callbacky to things like you said it earlier. I think there are some great callbacks to Jack Daniels. I think there's some really good callbacks to Blue Note.
It has a good nuttiness. Blue Note, Jack Daniels,
Right, some Tennessee whiskey callback.
Yeah,
But that also, I think that there's some good callbacks here to some beam juice. I get a lot of beam back end.
I get limestone. I know that sounds weird, but I get like the rain
Yeah.
on rock.
There is some
Essence,
minerality in this.
Minerality that I get from like the what was it, Evan Williams?
Well, I was gonna say Dickel.
No, that's what I meant. So my apologies.
Dickel
The
minerality,
minerality,
but it's good minerality, right? This is like
yeah, it's not Flintstone's vitamin minerality. It's
like when you have water that
rain on a rock.
has the mineral flavoring added to it. You know, like Sam's Club water has the mineral flavoring added to it. That's the note. Sorry, I didn't mean to stomp on you.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Zach,
you had your thought.
Zach, what do you got
needed
about
to
this?
give
What
that.
are you getting in this?
So, like, I enjoy the taste of this. This is very, very good. Very nutty, very sweet, very just to the point where you get vanilla, you get
There's a
almond,
little bready, like a bready waffle there.
and
Biscuity.
James, what was the ABV on this? It was
58%.
58%.
58. Yeah.
So 58% is that's kind of a
messing
hot boy.
around.
All right. So like
What
a
is it? What is that,
regular
116?
whiskey is about 45.
Bestie,
AKA
Safi, miss you. How you
90%.
doing, Safi? Haven't heard from you in ages. I hope you're doing well.
So
Sorry, Zach. not to
So
cut
like
you off.
90% is like your normal bourbon, right?
Yeah.
And so like when you
Hold
get
on a
into-
second, because I want to. I kind of like cringed when you said it a couple minutes ago.
Huh.
90 proof is not a typical bourbon, dude. 90 proof is like dog shit dog water bourbon.
No,
Maybe BJ wants to argue this, but
no.
I think of that fucking wild
But-
turkey.
Well, no, I'm
80
thinking. No, I'm thinking like your normal, like
Miss you, love you too, Safi. Good to hear from you.
like your everyday bourbon, like that. That is kind of the average, though.
I
And I'm not, and it's not. It's
Evan's
not.
coming in at fuck, Evan's coming in at 90.
Yeah, and it's not the no, I'm not like we're not talking about the
It's true.
we're
Yeah.
not talking about the elite bourbons. We're not talking about, the rare to find
The
kind of
everyday
things,
bourbons.
like
You're
the
right.
everyday man bourbon.
It is an everyday man bourbon. You're absolutely right. $60 price point.
Right.
Austin, it's a Texas bourbon.
Here's another great example of a 45% bourbon.
There you go. Yeah,
and that's kind of
Buffalo
like-
Trace. So Buffalo
Yeah.
Trace, normal freaking bourbon, right?
Yeah.
But with this one being a little hotter, I think it comes through really well. It's got a very sweet taste to it. It's got a vanilla taste to it. I
Yeah.
get a little caramel. Caramel?
Caramel.
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 Wait, wait, wait.
one.
Caramel, solid caramel liquid.
Bingo. That is how
Okay,
I
just so
define
you
it.
know.
Caramel
That
liquid.
is
Caramel
what I
solid.
think. Okay, so we have a consensus.
Caramel apple is solid.
Yes. Caramel
Caramel
syrup.
or
is
sauce
liquid.
is liquid.
There
Uh,
you go.
Yeah.
But with this being 58%,
Hold
that
on a second.
equates to whatever it is.
All right, Zach, hold
proof.
on, because
But-
this is a great comment. Really quick.
Oh, go on.
Safi says, showing some leg, BJ. So it says he leans back.
Hey, there you go.
Anyway.
I thought he was going to come onto the show with Speedos, but
No, he put the
Yeah,
shorts on. He put the
James has-
trunks
James-
on.
James has a pool outside. And
Yeah, we're jumping in
we're
the
about to
pool
dip.
after this.
But,
To your point,
but yeah, that's
Zach,
that's what
yes,
I
yes,
got.
yes.
So yeah, I think it's solid. You said $60
Yep.
for this guy.
solid. It's shelf worthy. I think
And-
everybody. This is a payday Friday bottle. Go grab it.
And
$60. Try it.
and what's funny is like
Yeah.
if I saw this, can you turn it towards me real quick? The
There
label.
you go.
If I saw it, I would not even recognize anything about it. I wouldn't even
Yeah.
know it. It's one of those things where you're like, oh, still Austin. I don't know the flavor. I don't know the company. I don't know, man. This might be one of those things where we say, hey, drink some still Austin. I think it's freaking sick. I like it.
All right. I'm going to lead us on here.
Please do.
It's time for scores.
Score it.
It's time for scores.
Score
and
it,
so here's what
score
I'm
it,
going
score
to.
it, score it.
I'm going to. I don't disagree with anything you said there, Zach. I think that this looks like a bad wine bottle label. I don't know.
Yeah,
that this
the
label would
label's
make me
kind
buy
of
it.
goofy. Yeah, I mean, I'm
Lady
sure it
with
has
the,
some story
with the red bird
where-
flying
oh,
away.
You guys have no idea. that
I don't.
they
I don't
had a-
care. I don't need to know. Here's what I will tell you.
I'm with you. Nobody cares.
I like. Oh yeah, we do the 1 through 3s, and then we give you a 100. You know the old ways here, Zachy. All right, nose. I like the nose. The nose is a 2. I think the nose it was challenging. I think
I'm
it's-
going to fight you on that because I think the nose is where it truly lacks.
Hang tight.
All right,
You
but go
get
ahead.
you get to argue your point
Well,
in a
I
minute.
know, but it's kind of
You
like
can argue
I don't know
your
where you're
point
getting
in
at
a
with
minute.
that because it's.
But I'm going
not-
to give the nose a 2. I think it's got enough there to keep you interested. I'm going to give the palate a 2.5.
Number one troll. I like that.
And that because I like what's going on, and again, I think it has enough to keep you interested. I think again, as I said earlier, it kind of harkens back to some things that you already know. I think it gives you a good point of reference. I think that this is a good moderate whiskey. If you're a whiskey collector and you're into whiskeys and you want to drink more whiskey, I think Still Austin is doing it for me. In fact, we're doing some tasting events, and I'd put this in a tasting event 100%. And then on value for $60, you're going to get a 58% cask strength bourbon whiskey. I think that's a stellar value. I'd give that a 3. So that's a 7.5. Not really blown away by it, but I am going to give it a 78 out of 100. So
78 out of 100.
7.8 out of 10. And I
Zachy.
think that's pretty decent.
Take it away.
All right. Well, I'm going to kind of go along with a couple of BJ's comments. Yeah, the label is kind of meh. This is kind of a thing where you look at it and it looks like a wine bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Does it not? This is whiskey and this is high proof whiskey. This should be something that, should cater to whiskey drinkers. And
Yeah,
like,
the label's a little
and like a
hokey. It's
woman
little
with
goofy.
looking at the bird. I'm not really sure about that.
I don't know what they were going for there. Yeah.
Mona Lisa bird. Okay. So, all right. So, on the nose, I'm going to give it a 2, right?
Yeah.
The 2 is good. It's non-offensive, very nutty. You get vanilla, quite a bit of sweetness, right? But the taste.
Oh, so they have a secret society called the Order of Nancy at the Still Austin Whiskey
Okay, so
Distillery.
that's
Nancy boy.
So that's Nancy on the bottle then.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
So
Join the wait list there.
I'm not.
All right,
This is way
so
too much
Nan-
info. Just
all right,
hey guys, it's Still Austin that are watching. Just put a fucking name and email. I don't need all this info.
All right, for
I'm
a
not
Nancy
registering for this
and
shit.
the folks at Still
Austin. Yeah.
Still Austin. Hang on, let me take
I'm
a little
still
taste
BJ.
again. You're still BJ. I'm still Zach.
We are monetized, Safi. So thanks for watching that ad. So the AI throws in an ad to pay us like you contributed 5 cents to the Barrels Buddies. So thank you very much.
15,000 subscribers.
That is sick.
15,000 subs.
Way to go, fellas.
Thank
Hell
you
yeah.
all for listening and following.
So the
It is too
one
old-timey.
thing that I can pull out of this whiskey that I really enjoy is the vanilla. I
Okay.
enjoy the vanilla. So I think there's
Vanilla?
a strong vanilla taste to it. Like you have to dig deep for it. Nuts and vanilla. That's what I get,
Okay.
for the most part.
So rate it. What do you got? Nose taste value.
So we got, I will do a 2 and $60.
3.
2 and 2.
Okay. So do you want to give it any bonus points? You're kind of at a 60.
Non-bonus, but I mean, this
Are you
is
doing-
something that you want to try.
Do you want to give it a
it's not gonna
60 though? Or you want to bump it up a little bit? What's your feeling on a total overall score?
Okay, so 60 out of 100. What?
That's a
like
D. Do you
like
think it's
no,
a D
we're
worthy?
it's not elementary school, right? That doesn't make any sense though. Like, so
You want to give it a
these-
60.
okay, you know what? I'll bump it
I'm
up.
just you can give it what you want. I'm not pressuring you.
So
I'm not
so-
and I'm
so-
not suggesting anything.
Okay,
Just tell me what
if I were to give it like an elementary, if I were to give it like an actual grade, like we're in grade
Yes.
school, I would give it a B plus. Okay, so
oh,
we have a
that's
1,
big
a
jump.
2, and a 3, and you can't equate that to grades.
So that means your 60 score jumps to like 80 to give it a B.
so 2.5, 2.5, 2.5.
There we go. 2,
Yeah,
4,
no, I
6,
enjoy this.
7
I
and a
like it.
half
All right,
plus
you're
is
cut off.
half.
James, give me your score. Give me your
That
score,
was-
Jimmy.
Jesus.
He's a little rusty,
He is. That's okay.
You're a little rusty,
We'll work
Zach.
on him. We'll work on him. We'll work on that.
but I appreciate that. It's a good score.
So nose taste value. The nose I thought was kind of non-existent. So you really kind of have to get into the glass to get any of the nose. I wasn't super taken aback by it.
Okay.
I thought it had very kind of cookie cutter reminiscent of just kind of like a sweet whiskey where I'm just like, okay, sugar, vanilla, creme brulee,
Oh,
burnt
here
sugar,
we go.
whatever. I'm not really super crazy about it. So I'm going to give it a 2.
Like I did.
Yeah. Taste. I thought that I wasn't blown away.
I'm taking my
I-
2s back actually. 2.
Your time is over.
That's middle of the road, and
You're giving
it's
it a 60
not
out of
a shit
100.
fucking score. It's
Okay.
middle of the road. I think it's good.
Okay. You're done now. So I gave it to 2 with
You made me
nose.
mad.
Taste, I'm also going to give it a 2. Where I thought it was pleasant, but I still think it's kind of average for a $60 bottle. Here's the problem. And here's what I want to tell all of our fans and friends and everybody that watched this show after the fact. $60, in my opinion, is a extremely competitive price point.
Yeah.
And I kind of put it like 40 to 60 is like a category, like a price point where you have
Mm.
so many heavy hitters that over decades have kind of, that's where they lie. Russell's Reserve, Elijah Craig, those are the 2 big players that just come to mind. What is it?
Actually, James,
Old Forester, some of the barrel proof stuff, some of the, even Blanton's at this point, right?
James, very
yeah.
good point. Very good point. Sorry to interrupt you.
No,
but
please go ahead.
you
go
are
ahead.
100% right.
Yeah.
Because like you could get like the normal
Elijah Craig.
Elijah Craig, $40, $30
Exactly.
$30
See what I mean?
And,
It's a very
and
competitive price
Like you
point.
said, I'm rusty. Okay. I'm just trying to enjoy it, I guess. But yeah. So price
very
point,
competitive.
price point. Can I move my point?
Sure.
Is that okay?
You're at 60. Where do you want to move it to? 50?
2, 2, 1.
So you drop down to 50. That's
Yeah,
fair.
I don't think it's worth $60.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
agree
think
with you.
I
agree
would say
with
that
you.
that is worth
$40.
$40. Yeah,
40.
100%.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, thank you for kind of.
And
saying
here's
that.
what I think the counter argument is. Well, it's cask strength, and our single barrel is cheaper. I get it. I'm sure that that's probably what people that are fanboys of Still Austin will say. And I get it. It's a cask strength offering. It's a little bit more pricier because it's not watered down. I get that. I still feel that it's a super competitive market. And if you want to compete in the $60 price range, you need to have a product that can stand above the rest. And it doesn't need to tick all the boxes, but it either needs to have, oh, the nose is spectacular. Oh, the mouthfeel is crazy. Oh, I can't believe you said mouthfeel because everybody says that. No, mouthfeel is a thing. Deal with it. The mouthfeel wasn't there. And there's like these
We
categories.
talk mouthfeel on this show. You can talk
It's a
about
thing.
it.
It's a thing.
I'm tired.
I'm done with
We're
people
done
saying
defending it on
How
the show.
dare you? It comes
a
from
thing.
like the brewers.
We
and
talk about it
distillers.
here. We're going to talk about it
At this point, it's
here.
a thing.
It's a
and we're
wine thing
recognizing
too.
It's a
We're
wine
doing
thing.
it. We're talking mouthfeel on the show.
I don't care
period.
what the counter argument
Period.
is. It's a thing. Deal with it.
Hey
Thanks,
James,
Safi.
can I echo with what you're
Please.
talking about?
Yeah.
So think about this. All right, so Elijah Craig, when you said barrel proof, right? There's a stark difference between barrel proof and small batch, right?
Correct.
Is there a small batch version of this?
There
I'm
is.
kind of curious because, like,
we didn't buy it. If that tells you anything.
So if I drink,
we
this,
tried it and didn't buy it.
So if I drink this, and hey, hang on, a little taste. There's no barrel proof in this.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think so.
Well,
I mean, like
your product.
I mean, yes, there is the there. I know it's 58%. I get it.
I know where you're going,
but it's not compared to the delicious barrel proofs that I've had in the past.
100%, Zach.
Right?
And I think you definitely check a box there where it's like you compare it to other cask strength barrel proof offerings, and it's kind of lackluster.
Right.
Like
crazy pills.
What?
What's your crazy pill?
What is your crazy pill? What's wrong?
I feel like I just entered a different dimension because I feel like we all like this, and yet we're sitting here and I'm listening to the two of you take a big giant dump.
No, we're not. We're not. I know we're being a little. Zach and I are being a little
huge
hypercritical
dump
on a $60 bottle of bourbon. I know, or whiskey.
Cask strength? Are you kidding me?
Hang on. So yes, no, you are correct. All right, we are taking. What my thought is on this, right? Like I'm comparing this to like a small batch. I didn't even think when I was doing my my score, I was thinking small batch. I was thinking small batch. I don't know why. I just was. But the reason why I say that, right, is because I'm an Elijah Craig lover. And I know the two differences between, the small batch and the
All right, well,
the
there's
barrel
our
strength. And one thing that we are missing here is the small batch. And that's what we need to kind of come back to so we can reassess. I think we have a fucked up assessment, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna give final words on this, and
then
I want to move to the
really
news.
need to like.
And then I want to move to the news.
We don't have time for that. We've fucked around too much time here. We're wrapping it up, please. There's no news today.
We had some whiskey prior to coming here. We went to a small tasting. Okay,
we're not doing it. Sorry, so the pool's calling our name, Safi. We're not doing news tonight.
Come on, we got to talk about the one thing.
We're not. Please.
Okay, fine.
Really, we're at 33 minutes,
Here's
and
my
I
one
said
thing.
I want to come on and do a 20-minute show, and we're at the 33-minute mark,
Fine.
and we're dicking around.
Fine, here it is.
No. I haven't even give my score yet.
Then give your score.
Finish your rant, please.
Nope.
Please,
Score.
you're first.
Score.
You
started this.
You
started the
But
score.
then you took this over, and you're
Fine.
like, I'm done with
All
these
I'm
guys
gonna
shitting
say
on
is-
it. So what do you got? Wrap it
All
up.
I'm going to say is, listen, I had an Elijah Craig private barrel tonight, and I had some Blantons.
Compare it. What do you got?
I would put the Elijah Craig private barrel
Like 1, 2, 3.
number one. I would
Yep.
put the Still Austin number two, and I'd put the Blantons at the bottom. In
Okay.
order of things I've had. No, you're done. He's going to give his score. He's going to give his
Yes,
score.
I got to get my score. You're kind of done, Zach.
No.
Nose 2, taste 2, value 2. That's a 6. I'm not giving it a blown away bonus. I'm comfortable with my 60 out of 100. I'll give it a 65 because I do respect the value. I do respect what they're going for. It is not indicative of a grade. It's not like a D. That doesn't mean it's a D. It's just, I feel like that's, we're talking about mouthfeel.
What?
That's where it falls.
How much
and
is
it's
the Steel Austin small batch?
$40?
$40.
Yeah.
Where's it at?
It's at Total Wine. Dude, this is available everywhere. Still Austin, I've seen
Okay,
at every
I'll get it for
liquor
next
store in
week.
town.
How about that?
Please
Can we
do.
like a reapply?
Please do.
Or
The
what?
problem is, I think, here's the thing. BJ and I tried both when we were at Total Wine, and we went with this because the other one, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't
Okay,
great.
so is it going to be one of those things where I'm like, I should have lit my freaking $40 on fire and then just.
I
That's it.
wouldn't get it. I'm not knocking Still Austin here.
I mean,
like
I've
this
done that
isn't a
before.
Still Austin shit session. Like this is, I get it. Here's the thing. It sits in the middle. It could do a few things to get it above being in the middle of the pack, but it's an extremely, as I've mentioned, it's an extremely highly competitive market, that $40 to $60 bottle price point. That's how I want to end the show. 60-ish. What did you give it?
I gave it a 76.
BJ, and then Zach gave it a 2525
221.
221. Oh yeah, you lowered it. You really gave it a 50.
5.
A 5 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah,
That's kind of where we're at with Still Austin, guys. I don't think there's any more conversation to be had about it.
It's good.
Final words.
It's good.
Gave it to you.
It's good.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
So there you have it, guys. Next week we are most likely going to do the Still Austin small batch. Apparently, Zach's gonna
Yeah,
come
I
back
mean,
and bring the
well,
bottle.
I don't know. Like you
And
guys
he's
tried
got
it. Is it not really worth doing this, or
We'll see.
shall we?
We will.
All right,
We will find
discuss,
out and
and
discuss.
that
at
would be
time.
interesting if they tasted the same.
Anyway. So for the Barrel Buddies, and I listen before I end. We're going to be back in the saddle. Everybody's back from vacations. No more bullshit. We will start having shows on the regular. Please join us every Wednesday for the live show. And if you catch us on the recap, please leave a comment, ask questions. We're all about it. We answer questions all the time. We get direct messages at our Gmail address,
Cash
on our
me
website,
outside.
and on our YouTube. So please continue to do that. We're all about helping people learn about whiskey and what to buy and how to get the best value for your dollar out there. And I think that overall, my general impression before I pass it to these guys to give theirs of Still Austin is it's a middle of the pack offering. It's got an extreme tough amount of competition. Would I go out there and look for it? Probably not. Am I okay with the taste? Yeah, it's just kind of like a Matt Plus. I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't dislike it and I don't love it. It kind of falls right in the middle. There's my opinion. BJ, take it away. Any last words here?
I gave you my final words.
All right, Zach, then. Final words.
Yeah, you know what, BJ, yeah. You know what, James, you actually really kind of covered the entire thing.
Right.
You know, it's a good whiskey. I would not, say that this is amazing.
You're chasing it.
I would not say that this is an amazing freaking barrel proof whiskey,
But
because
it's adequate, right? It checks
it's adequate.
the box.
It is adequate. Yes, I would get that. But like every barrel proof, I always compare to my favorite, Elijah Craig.
There you
Right.
go.
And
There you
it's
go.
just one of those things where, like, you drink it and you're like, oh,
I mean,
great.
you have a couple decades more of distillery experience versus these guys that just opened up shop. So I'm going to give them a little bit of credence, because here's the thing: they get that ability. They've already met that point where they're competing with the big dogs. So
100%.
kudos to them. Good for you guys. You are there. You're competing with the big players.
Oh yeah.
However, it is an extremely dog-eat-dog world between
that's
that
good.
$40 and $60 price point of whiskeys. Extremely competitive.
I would like to
I
spend.
think it falls in the middle of the road.
I would like to spend $40 to get the small batch,
Sure.
just to do the side by side,
Yeah.
because I think that'd be a lot of fun.
We'll do it.
To really see, how does this develop from small batch to barrel proof?
Yeah.
Because I mean, normally
Yeah.
you start with the small batch and you graduate, right? You give this to a freaking novice, right? They're gonna go, "Oh my god, this is too freaking strong. I'm gonna throw up."
Hands
right?
down.
Obviously, all of us are,
No.
seasoned
No.
whiskey and airs, right? So we know how to enjoy it and know how to handle this and how to understand it, right?
Very good. With that being said, thank you very much, Zach. Friends out there, thank you for joining the show today. For the Barrel Buddies, I'm Jimmy.
I'm Zach.
And I'm BJ. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Later on.